Michael, the team prides itself on playing an aggressive brand of cricket. Do you think the batsmen know when to pull back from that?
Well, I don't think we got out. I don't think everyone got out today playing that aggressive brand. I think a lot of guys are just trying to defend. And Stuart Broad was good enough to find the edge, and England were good enough to hang on to their chances on a wicket that was certainly tough to bat on. There's no doubt about that. So I think a couple of things. I think firstly, it wasn't a great toss to lose. Secondly, I think Stuart Broad deserves a lot of credit for his execution. He certainly showed his class today, being able to put the ball in the right area for long enough, and then England's fielding was exceptional.
Michael, where does that sit among the worst days of cricket for you as your time in the game?
Yeah, it's up there. That and probably being bowled out for 47 against South Africa is not a nice one to remember, but yeah, that's as tough as they come today.
Michael, what do you say to the players after that?
Good question. Well, I think the Aussie way is to not give up, there's no doubt about it, and I think that's got to be our attitude. It's only one day down in the Test match. Yes, it's been an extremely tough day, but we have to turn up tomorrow and try and bowl England out firstly, and then bat as big as we have done throughout this series. Make as big a score as possible, and then you just never know.
Michael, you mentioned that the conditions were tough and the bowling was good, but is that an embarrassing performance for Australia?
I'll let you write your article, Ben. I'm not going to give you any words to use, but we obviously there's no doubt we didn't bat well, but like I say, they were very good conditions to bowl in. That's as tough as batting conditions as I've faced in my career. But in saying that, you still have to have the skill and the class to be able to put the ball in the right area and then hang on to those chances when the ball hits the edge. So, take nothing away from Stuart and England.
Michael, there's been a lot of work done in Australia with pictures trying to get the batsmen better prepared for subcontinent conditions. Is there a technical deficiency in the way guys can handle swinging, seaming ball?
It's obviously hard to bat when the ball is swinging and seaming, and I think that's probably one of the things we've experienced over here in this series. I think guys have experienced it at different stages throughout their career. You face that a lot in South Africa as well, and even in Shield cricket as well. You get a little bit of seam, not as much swing as you'd get here. So we can obviously improve against swing, seam, spin. You're looking to get better any way possible, I guess, as a batsman. There's no doubt about it, and the best way to do that is to play in those conditions.
Yeah.
Michael, what were you thinking? What was going through your mind when you were about to face Stuart Broad first up and you get that final?
I was thinking if he pitches it up, I'm going to hit it as far as I can. I watched guys around me get out trying to defend, and I thought, like I've always said, the better the bowling, the more aggressive you got to be, and you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Michael, how does a day like that affect you as a captain?
Yeah, like I said, that's as tough a day as you have as a player, and certainly as a captain. Nothing went right at all today, that's for sure. And the situation of the series, knowing, like I said before the Test match, it was our grand final. But also as captain, you need to be as positive as you can be, and understand that it's day one down to the Test match. There's still a lot of time left in this Test. We're just got to play out of our skins.
Pete?
Were you happy with the team you got? It was an interesting decision to take the all-rounder out, and also, I've never seen you spend so long looking at the wicket this morning. What was going through your mind?
The team, at the end of the day, the selectors pick the team, and I respect what they do. I think we've got some very good selectors, to be honest. So I think their reasons for the 11 players that they gave me and that we spoke about were very good. I think we've seen at Edgbaston, Mitch Marsh didn't bowl too many overs. We knew this wicket was going to have enough in it. The plan was to bowl first. And the extra batting, knowing if we didn't win the toss, it was going to be hard to bat. So we obviously the selectors wanted that extra batting as well to make as many runs as we can. So I think the selectors have been fantastic the whole series. They've been very open, very honest with me. They've kept the faith with certain players. Doesn't matter what 11 you pick, you've got to play as well as you possibly can, and we didn't do that today.
And we think about bowling or batting when you were looking at that pitch, it was a long time out there.
No, as hard as it is for me, I was definitely going to bowl first today if I won the toss, but didn't matter, I didn't win the toss.
Michael, coming into the test, you talked a lot about hard work, belief, preparation, all that. But it seems to be a disconnect when you say, 29 for 5, and then you suddenly go for wide pitch delivery instead of knuckling down.
Like I said, if you watched today's batting, you would have seen guys getting out blocking all around me. That's why I try to be as aggressive as I possibly could.
Last one, Jason.
Well, I know you said that a lot of guys are blocking and not actually playing aggressive shots, but how is it that you go about in training practicing when to learn, know to block the ball and when to leave the ball?
Ask that again, sorry, Jess.
How do you train to know when to block the ball and when to leave the ball? Like, it looked like a lot of the top 6 dismissals from far could have been left rather than played short.
It's always a lot easier watching than it is playing. The guys have worked extremely hard in the nets in conditions that have swung and seamed. Shot selection is a critical part of being a successful batsman. There's no doubt about it. I think it might look like a lot of the guys could have let those balls go, but again, the class of, Stuart Broad was bringing the ball back into the right-hander today, where generally he takes the ball away from a right-hander. So that makes you feel like you have to play a lot more. I don't want to take any credit away from Stuart. I thought he bowled really well. When you stand, when you look at a replay on a big screen and you see where the 3 stumps are, and you see when the batter gets out, it looks like you don't have to play, but yeah, it's the way it goes. Like I say, it's a tough game, but it's today done. We turn up tomorrow, start again.
Watch every Ashes moment live.
And this is like the days of Lillian Thompson. Oh, how about it? How about it?
Buy your live pass at cricket.com.au/subscribe.